They say history remembers the victors, but sometimes it forgets the geniuses. One man changed medicine forever. He discovered diseases before microscopes even existed. He wrote a book so powerful, European doctors used it for 600 years. But today his name is a ghost in forgotten pages. This is the story of Ibn Sina, the Muslim scientist who laid the foundation of modern medicine, and then vanished from textbooks. Why was he forgotten? And what did he know that we're only just beginning to understand? Let's begin. A child is born under the stars of the Islamic Golden Age. His name Abu Ali al-Hussein ibn Abdallah ibn Sina. To the West, he'd later be called Avicenna. But to his people he was simply the genius. By the age of 10, he memorized the Quran. By 14 he was reading Greek philosophy, Socrates, Aristotle, Galen. By 16 he was treating patients, often better than the royal doctors. By 18 he cured the ruler of Bukhara, and was rewarded with access to the royal library. That moment changed everything. Inside those ancient scrolls, Ibn Sina devoured knowledge, medicine, astronomy, physics, chemistry, logic, all interconnected in his brilliant mind. But he wasn't just reading, he was questioning. Why do fevers rise? Why do wounds heal? How does the body really work? These weren't just medical questions, they were mysteries he was born to solve. He began writing a book that would become one of the most influential medical texts in history. Al-Qanun fi al-Tib, the Canon of Medicine, 5 volumes, over 1 million words. He wrote about diseases, cures, anatomy, diagnosis. He categorized over 700 drugs, each with their effects, dosage, and preparation. But that wasn't all. Ibn Sina wrote that diseases can be spread through contaminated water or air, centuries before anyone knew what bacteria was. He described the symptoms of diabetes by tasting urine for sweetness. He wrote about anesthesia using herbal sedatives. He explained that emotions could affect physical health, long before psychology was a science. He even discussed brain surgery and tumor removal. In the 11th century, sounds impossible? That's just the beginning. Crusaders and scholars began translating Arabic texts. Ibn Sina's canon was translated into Latin, and honestly, it spread like wildfire. From Spain to Italy, France to England, his book became the standard medical textbook in Europe. For 6 centuries, European doctors, scholars, and surgeons relied on it. In some universities, you couldn't become a doctor without studying Avicenna. Even Leonardo da Vinci had a copy. Yes, that Leonardo. But then, something changed. The Renaissance brought new ideas, colonialism brought new powers, and slowly, the world began rewriting its history. Western scientists were celebrated, Eastern ones forgotten. Ibn Sina's contributions were erased, his name faded into whispers, his identity hidden behind Latin translations, his achievements claimed by others. The knowledge remained, but the name disappeared. Today, when a doctor checks your pulse or prescribes drugs by dosage or considers your mental health alongside your physical, they're using principles Ibn Sina laid down 1,000 years ago. We just don't realize it. His vision of medicine was holistic, treating the body, the mind, and the soul together. He believed that a healthy life was a balanced diet, rest, hygiene, mental peace. Sound familiar? That's what modern wellness is trying to rediscover. But Ibn Sina had already written it centuries ago. Beyond medicine, he was a philosopher. He debated existence, consciousness, the nature of the soul. He was a mathematician, a chemist, an astronomer. He calculated planetary orbits without telescopes. He wrote over 450 books. Only about 240 survived. Still, his ideas traveled far, hidden in other names. So why does it matter now? Why tell this story? Because the past holds the roots of the future. Because knowledge should not have borders. And because remembering Ibn Sina isn't just about honoring history. It's about giving credit where it's due, it's about connecting the dots we were never shown in school, it's about lighting the forgotten lamps of the world. Ibn Sina died at just 57 years old. But, his mind lives on, in every hospital, every prescription, every doctor's diagnosis that saves a life. Now you know his name, now he's no longer forgotten, and maybe, just maybe, you'll look at medicine a little differently. You've just heard the story of the man who cured kings, and was erased from their books. But this was just one capsule. What if I told you, there was a surgeon in ancient India, who performed plastic surgery and brain operations, in 600 BCE? Another genius lost to time. That story comes next. So, if you're curious, subscribe, because the past, it's full of secrets we're just beginning to remember. Ibn Sina, who lived from 980 to 1037, is known as the father of modern medicine. Subscribe to Quick Capsule for more forgotten stories that shaped your world.